Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? Welcome back to my Yakuza 7 chill stream grinding. I've been doing this for about, no lie, about a month and a half now. And at this point, every single character in our party has reached level 99. Look at all weird outfits that I put on everyone. Because I got bored of grinding and looking the same. What we're trying to do tonight is get these job classes as high level as possible. As you can see, Kasuga is trailing behind at level 25. Everyone else is between level 50, 60. If we can get some of these max to 99 tonight, it would be outstanding, or at least as close as humanly possible. Next week, I'm going to attempt to take on the optional super dungeon. I don't know if we're ready yet, but at this point, we've grinded a ton, and I would like to see if we can actually make progress and beat it next week or not, all right? So that's next week's set stream. But for tonight, it's our final chill stream of just relaxing, running around, grinding in the dungeon, and trying to level up as much as possible, okay? Shout out to Turtle Dude, who cheered 95 bits. And what's up, Phil? Thanks for the chill stream. Had fun watching Ask the King today. It was great as hell, almost as great as Turtles. Very nice. So, here's the thing. Ask the King. I always question if I should keep doing Ask the King. It's my bi-monthly Q&A show. More often than not, these days, it's more than 2 months between the episodes. The reason is because I talk with you guys every day. I'm talking to you right now. I'm interacting with you. I'm answering your questions. So it baffles me that people still want the show, but apparently people love having a dedicated show where not only can they get really, really detailed answers to their questions, like for example, right now, I'm gonna comment on what you just said, Turtle Dude, for like a minute or two, and then we're gonna move on. But on Ask the King, I usually pick questions that are very, very, very detailed answers. I had a question about Yoshitori Ono, being the head of developer of Street Fighter for about a decade. I had a question about that today that I answered for about 25 minutes. You know, it was a really, really in-depth answer. And I think people like getting those kind of in-depth answers because on these streams, otherwise, yeah, do I answer your questions? Yes, but do you get that kind of detail? No, it's just kind of very quickly, a matter of fact, boop, answer your question, done, move on, right? So I think people still like that, and that's why people to this day still ask for Ask the King, despite the fact that the show is pretty outdated in my opinion. The other thing is, that's the thing, it's one of my longest running shows ever. Today was episode 85, alright? And think about that, 85, and I do it every 2 months, so how long have I been doing it? It's actually been running for about 10 years, the show. So I think that's why people really enjoy it, because it's kind of one of the long-standing things that I used to do just exclusively for YouTube, and now I do it as a live stream as well. So, did he just attack twice? Jugi just attacked twice in a row. Damn, that's some fucking speed right there. Okay then. Ghibli Ghoul Guy cheers. Do you think it's a little weird to refer to yourself as king when you say you're an average gamer? It's obviously, at this point, it's a legacy thing. I used to call myself the king of hate because so many people would shit on me and hate on me and say I couldn't do well and couldn't succeed, that I would say, oh, I would own that hate, be the king of it, own that hate, and turn it into motivation to succeed. The thing is, today I almost never mention the king of hate thing anymore. It's just kind of something that fell out of use. In fact, the only thing really that I say with King of Hate these days is my website, kingofhate.com. Outside of that, I almost never mention it, right? So it's kind of outdated. Just like a lot of things, you know, they start off as one thing and then they end up getting a little bit outdated, and I would admit that that's one of them. But, hey, people, again, the show's been running for almost 10 years, if not 10 years. People would be upset if the show changed, or, you know what I mean, if the name was different. Even just tweaking it a little bit, people would be like, oh, what are you doing? So I just leave it as is. By the way, someone just mentioned that would I change it to the King of Jeans? So instead of the King of Jeans, what you should do, you should go check out Ask the King from earlier today. Ask the King earlier today, I actually showed off jeans. It's some running meme now that people are making jokes because I basically don't game in, like, clothes you would wear outside. Like, I don't put on jeans, I don't put on a suit and fucking tie, you know what I mean? I don't dress up to get on stream. Why would I? That's silly. I have the distinction and the luck and the honor to be able to work from freaking home. I'm gonna take advantage of that, and I've been doing that, by the way, since day one. Ever since I became someone who made content on YouTube, I don't wear jeans sitting here playing games. That's ridiculous. But I think it's funny because I guess somehow, don't ask me how, it became a thing recently. One of these weird memes that just emerges. Did you know that Phil doesn't wear jeans or anything like that at home? That he wears like pajama pants or sweatpants? So people turn this into a funny thing that they think it's like weird. Like, why is it weird that when you're at home you wear comfortable clothes? It doesn't seem to make sense to me. I don't really understand what people are getting at there, but then again, people are fucking weird. So anyway, I showed jeans. My actual jeans that I own when I go out, I actually showed them earlier today in Ask the King. So if you didn't see it, it's part 2 of Ask the King from earlier today over on the King Hate Vlogs channel. Go watch my jeans. I know you're so dying to see what kind of jeans I wear when I go out. Okay? Will Son of Aragorn cheered. Because I feel like I'm just not caught up with the times. What happened to the Hateful Truth, your in-depth review series? It's a good question. Fair enough, that's a really good question. 2 things happened to the Hateful Truth, okay? First of all... Sweet! Leveled up. Everyone pretty much leveled up. That's excellent. 2 things happened with the Hateful Truth. First of all, in 2016, I diversified my content on YouTube and I split it up onto 2 different channels. There was KO Gaming, which was going to be my channel for in-depth reviews, edited style content, countdowns, and the like. And then DSPGaming was going to be just where I put the raw footage from my archived streams. Alright? I put a lot of work into KO Gaming that year. Like, a lot of work. Alright? I mean, basically every night, I would stream 4 to 5 hours of gameplay earlier in the day, and then at night, I would edit 2 to 3 hours a night. I would do voiceovers editing to get reviews done, to do edited videos. Okay? It took off. It actually had a few videos on that channel. One of them had over 1 million views. Other videos had hundreds of thousands of views. In general, the channel did very well. For the amount of work that I was putting into it, I was very pleased, and I was making good money on that YouTube channel with that edited style content. Then, YouTube demonetized the channel with no explanation, absolutely no reasoning. It just blacklisted the channel, meaning I would upload a video, and before the video was even live, they would flag it as unfit for ads, and I would not be able to advertise on my video, so I could make no money on any of the videos on that channel. After working like 6 to 7 months, busting my ass, making that channel popular on YouTube, which it was, they ruined it. They literally ruined it for no reason. No explanation. They never contacted me. They just did it behind the scenes. So after that, I was like, well, that's kind of messed up. Now, what do I want to do? You know, the problem is my DSP Gaming channel is just that. It's for gaming. It's for that kind of content, you know, raw gameplay. It's not for edited content. I didn't want to throw an edited video that I put 8-10 hours of work into onto a channel where it's going to just get lost in the mix of a bunch of gameplay videos. All right? In addition to that, on top of all that going wrong, okay, in early 2017, all of YouTube had what was called the adpocalypse. The adpocalypse was when YouTube overnight lost 50% ad revenue, because basically that was the time when I guess it was PewDiePie and a few others got into a big trouble for saying nasty things in videos, like racist stuff and things like that. And apparently some advertisers like Starbucks, Walmart, and others caught on to that and realized their ads were running on those videos. And when they realized that their ad was running hundreds of thousands of times on a video that had like that kind of content, they flipped out and pulled all of their ads from YouTube. So overnight, everyone lost money who was making a living on YouTube. Mine went down 50% overnight. I was making one amount, the next day I made half. For the same videos, same views, half. So I had to change up what I was going to do for a living, and that's when I became a full-time streamer. Now here's the thing. If I'm going to be a full-time streamer, that's exactly what I need to dedicate myself to, being a streamer. And when I'm a streamer, the content that I put out here on Twitch gets supported by those who watch it live. So that means as long as I'm working my butt off and putting out enough content for you guys, you support it, be it cheering, subbing, tipping, right? And I'm able to make a living. It's not about, oh, I made a video that everyone on YouTube liked, but by the way, YouTube for some reason lost their advertisers, and now I make no money on the fucking videos at all. Like, seriously, that's what it was like. I would put out quality videos, people liked them, watched them. Oh, you make no money because YouTube fucked up. So because of that, I take the power out of YouTube's hands as a company, and I put it into my hands as a content creator, because now I'm crowdfunded. And I think it was the best choice I ever made business-wise. Between anything I ever did for content creation, like doing this, has completely changed. My YouTube channel was on the decline. My Twitch channel has taken off and done nothing but grow year after year when it comes to support because of crowdfunding. So, all that being said, all right, to get back to the subject of what happened to the Hateful Truth review series. I liked doing the Hateful Truth review series, but doing that kind of content, putting significant amount of time and effort into game reviews, when it's just for a YouTube audience where I, number one, can't make money on YouTube videos anymore, and number two, I know that my time is better invested in being a live streamer than anything else because of what YouTube did to me, demonetizing KO Gaming. I basically committed myself, and I said I am not ever going to commit to putting out any more kinds of edited style content anymore. Like, that was it. After 2016, when they demonetized my stuff, like, seriously, that was it. That was the extent of what I was gonna see and do. Oh, is this guy bothering you? I'll get rid of him. Sorry, guys. People were complaining that this guy's bothering them. All right, he's out of here. That was it. After that, I was like, I'm not putting up with it anymore. Like, I'm not gonna work my butt off putting out these great edited videos and have people watch them and make nothing for it because YouTube, I don't know, damn, lost advertisers or decided to demonetize my shit. So here's the thing. Every once in a while, if there's a really good game or a game that's very controversial and you guys want to hear a review of it, I'll usually review it. All right? But in general, I don't really bother with it. Why? Because it's just not worth my time. I could easily play more games, and it ends up being more entertaining to you guys because I'm a live streamer now. You know what I'm saying? Now, here's the thing, though. It's not that I don't review games. I absolutely review games. When I play a game, I'm doing it live. I'm telling you my thoughts about the game live. That's a live review. In the credits of every game, when the credits roll, I tell you my honest thoughts overall about the game. What I liked, what I didn't like. I don't give a review score anymore. Fair enough. But I basically do a review in the credits of every playthrough. So if you want to see a review of any game, just go to the final part, scroll to the credits, press play. You'll hear me talk about all the good things and bad things about the game as if it's a full review. Seriously, I do it every time. Okay? So, excellent. That's the deal. Like, it sucks because I really, that year, 2016, I enjoyed working on KO Gaming. I thought that was some meaningful it was basically all those years people had told me, Phil, you're no good. All you are, you're a jokester, you're an asshole, you can't never be a serious content creator, you just put out raw gameplay, you could never do anything that's better than that. For a whole year, I showed them up. I said, here you go. I can do a channel with edited content, good voiceovers and everything, and it caught on and got tons of views and would have continued to grow if YouTube didn't nerf the channel. It's 100% YouTube's fault for nerfing the channel with no explanation and never ever talking to me about it. They didn't care. That's YouTube's attitude. And that's why I basically said I'm not going to bother with that shit anymore. I'm not going to put all my eggs in a basket where at some point YouTube could just fucking rattle the basket and ruin everything for me because they're not doing their jobs. So I loved it. And the thing is, things could have been very different for me. If basically that channel was not demonetized, I very well might have stuck with it and tried to keep it afloat, even through the YouTube adpocalypse. I might have tried to put a lot of time and effort into it, but I just didn't see a reason to do it anymore, you know? Okay. Anyway, we got one more grinding fight to do, and one more grinding fight to do, and then I think we're done. And we go back and do the whole dungeon over again. Oh, let's see here. Jackalese has to me $5.30. Thank you very much, Jackalese. Hold on one second here while we kill this vagabond. He says, the jeans thing started when one day I asked you when you last wore jeans on stream, kids glorify the dumbest shit for no reason. Yeah, they think it's like, oh, that's a funny meme. And you know what it is? It's because we don't know what it is because we're not talking about it constantly on my streams. It's the restreamers, the people who are illegally restreaming my shit, likely right now. They make up their own memes, and then they send people over here to derail this stream with the memes, and no one knows what the fuck they're talking about. It's like, why would jeans be a running meme that you guys bring up all the time? Like, I don't even understand. And then all of a sudden someone will be like, yeah, the idiot is talking about it over there on the other stream, so now they're coming to your stream to talk about it. And I'm like, seriously, that's so dumb. It's so fucking dumb. Oh, let's see here. Wilson of Aragorn did another 100-bit cheer. Hold on. Essence of Lightning Rod. That's a new move I unlocked. Deals heavy damage to enemy, damages the user as well. The lower the user's remaining HP and MP, the higher the damage. So it's not going to do any damage then, because I've never seen this attack. I want to see I want to see the animation. Look at this. This is brand new. Okay then. That was cool looking for sure. Sadly, it wasn't nearly as effective as I would have liked it to be. But it certainly looked nice. Here we go. Alright, so anyway. Wilson of Aragorn did a 100-bit cheer. And says, I remember KO Gaming. It definitely showed how much effort you put into what you do. I loved it, but I understand YouTube can be stupid. I'm still glad you upload to YouTube, though, just in case I can't always be here for a stream. And, again, that's the reason why. It's really, seriously, it's not that YouTube is giving me a significant amount of income. The only times, really, where they give me a significant amount of income is actually the end of the year. Because the end of the year, the ad revenue on YouTube goes way up for Christmas. But outside of that, like, it's not a huge deal. I mean, would it suck if it went away completely? Yes, honestly, it would. It would suck if YouTube ad revenue went away completely because it's still something. But it's nowhere near anything significant like it used to be. I would never be able to make a living off of just the revenue that I get off a YouTube video. So the reason I put them up there is, number one, yes, because of a little bit of income that I make, but also because I'm well aware there's no way that people can attend every single stream that I do. You know what I mean? There's just not. So I'm not going to be a jerk and be like, oh, attend the streams or screw off. You know what I mean? Now, admittedly, at one point, when I decided I was going to become a full-time streamer, I asked my viewers, I said, would you prefer if I kept everything on YouTube like I'm doing now, or would you prefer if I move everything over to Twitch? Because Twitch allows you to archive your streams, and they even do it automatically. But a lot of people told me that they have issues with Twitch, that the reason that they don't watch me on Twitch is because it's a lot of bandwidth that needs to be used for it. While YouTube, you can variate your bandwidth by setting it to lower resolutions and the like. On Twitch, you're basically stuck. When you watch the video on demands on Twitch, it takes a ridiculous amount of bandwidth no matter what. So people said, no, if you do that, if essentially you bring all your content off of YouTube over to Twitch, we would miss out and not be able to watch you anymore. And when they told me that, I was like, all right, then I'm going to split. I'm going to have the live stuff here and the archives on YouTube. So that way, it's the best of both worlds and everyone has an opportunity to watch my stuff. Because again, it's never been just about, oh, only the people who can contribute or only the people who make me money are going to be able to view. That's not what it's ever been about. It's always been about me being able to put out content that's for everyone. Whether you can contribute, whether you can't contribute, I don't care. It's about people being able to all enjoy games together. That's why I started doing this 12 plus years ago. So I'll keep putting it on YouTube regardless, okay? The only way I would ever leave YouTube is if there was a very good, viable alternative. If another company stood up to YouTube to compete with them for on-demand video services, and they were either just as good as YouTube or better, then I would switch. Because I hate being on YouTube with the way that they operate things, the crazy amount of harassment and defamation and stuff that they allow on their site and do nothing about it. They feel, oh, we're not responsible for that. I would love to leave, but I have thousands of people, like literally thousands of people watch these videos on YouTube every single day. Even if it might not seem like it, they do. And I don't want to lose that viewership and lose those people who've been with me all along just because I don't agree with YouTube and the way that they do things, you know? Okay. Harold11 tipped me $1.30. He says, can I have a request for you? Oh, wait a minute. I know exactly what this is. See, I'm not stupid. For some reason, this guy, someone named Harold, wants me to show you my entire design of my t-shirt. I don't know why. He's like, put down the microphone and make the entire screen of your stream your t-shirt. Why? And the other funny part is that he's basically having me say things in a weird way. Like, he has capital letters. Like, he wants me to say certain key phrases and stuff. So, I don't know what this is at all. I can tell you this. It's an unverified tip. And likely, this is someone trying to get me to say and do stuff so they can use certain words in videos or make it sound like I said something out of context. In reality, here's what I actually heard about recently, if you guys aren't aware. So, apparently the rumor is thus. I don't know if there's any truth to this or not. But the rumor is thus, that there are, very shortly, there's going to be a major competitor to Twitch. And Twitch is actually nervous about it because apparently this competitor is huge. It has a lot. It's not YouTube. It's somebody else, apparently. And apparently they have a lot of backing, and there's going to be a lot of momentum and PR and advertisement put behind this competitor to Twitch. And apparently, all right, people are even, the rumor is, I don't know if it's true because it's bullshit conspiracy theory as usual, all this stuff, right? The rumor is that if you mention even things related to the service or the name of the service on Twitch, Twitch can ban you. Now, do I believe that? No. Absolutely not. I think that's ridiculously stupid. I don't think that saying the name of a rival business, like if that's the case, wouldn't I have been banned for saying YouTube a million times? I've only said YouTube how many times, right? So I think that the whole thing is baloney. It's just them being, again, with their crazy conspiracy theories. Okay? But I guarantee you it's horse shit, and it's just stupidity of these idiots making stuff up. But it sounds to me like this guy with this tip, which by the way is an unverified fake tip, which I already refunded, is probably someone trying to give me certain words. The way he said it in capital letters and everything, it has nothing to do with the stream. Likely he's trying to get me to say stuff so he can use those words to edit it and take it out of context and make it sound like something else. So, no, fuck off. I'm not going to say any of that shit, and I blocked you from tipping me from now on, too, so I don't have to put up with this bullshit. Okay. Always Hot Tea did a 50-bit cheer. Says, if people couldn't cheer or tip on Twitch, would you still stream? First of all, there's absolutely nothing to stop people from tipping anywhere, because no matter what, as long as I have some kind of ability to transfer funds, whether it's PayPal or otherwise, people would be able to contribute no matter what. Now, admittedly, it's nice to be having cheers and subs integrated into Twitch. It's very nice because that crowdfunding aspect is a major one of the sources of support that I get. And the fact that that is integrated into Twitch and is your ease of use and people can see pop-ups and everything on the stream as a result of all that is a really good thing, alright? If that were to all go away overnight, I'm fairly certain I could still get people to support me via crowdfunding via other methods, okay? You see what I'm saying? So we'll see, you know, I think what people are wondering is if Twitch were to ever go away, what would happen to a lot of content creators? Obviously, they'd probably go elsewhere. They go to YouTube, which is kind of the same exact thing, or they might go to a competitor. I don't know. I don't even know who the competitors are right now because I don't pay attention because I want to stay on Twitch. I like it that much, you know? But, you know, the thing is, I would create content moving forward. Let's say, for example, there was absolutely no way whatsoever to monetize content on YouTube or Twitch at all. Zero. All monetization was removed. And there's no way that you can make a living doing this. And I was forced to stop doing this, and I had to go get a job outside of being a content creator on the internet, okay? Obviously, that if it was a necessary evil, I'd have to do it, right? I would not quit this 100%. I certainly would not be able to stream nearly as much as I do. Maybe I'd only stream a couple times a week, and it would be like 1 game or 2 games, you know what I mean? Maybe I wouldn't be able to do crazy ongoing playthroughs because I don't have time, because I'd be working so much and I'd be too tired. I don't know. But I tell you this, I love doing this. I love the interactions with you guys. I love having an audience. I love that people care about me and my opinions. They want to hear about how I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like, this thing is over a dozen years of my life, I have been a content creator. I absolutely love what I do for a living, or I wouldn't be doing it, you know? And I wouldn't want this to just go away just because all the businesses are now not allowed to no longer allow any kind of financial support of any kind. Like, that's ridiculous. I would still find a way to do it as a hobby. It wouldn't be anything that I make money doing, but do it as a hobby. I would still think, though, even if, worst case scenario, you couldn't get any monetization whatsoever on YouTube or Twitch, I could still get some kind of crowdfunding, like I said, via other methods. I don't think it would be directly through Twitch or YouTube. It would just have to be something from the outside, but I'm fairly certain people would fund it and to allow me to keep doing what I love, you know? But that's never been even a possibility. These are giant businesses. They're not going away overnight or anything like that. So here we go. Here's an idiot. I'm just going to ban him. There we go. Goodbye. Alright.
Hell yeah. Sweet.
I'm getting stronger.
Oi, oi, oi. Alright, let's continue. La 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 la. Expand Dong asks, what is the middle ground between a sequel doing too much and not enough? He says Splatoon 2 is pretty much Splatoon 1.5. He said Resident Evil 8 may as well not be Resident Evil for what you've seen. Well, here's the thing. Splatoon 2 pretty much from what I saw, and I could be wrong, I didn't play it, but this is only from what I saw. Splatoon 2 was the same exact game as Splatoon. Were there balance changes? Yes. Were there a few new weapons? Yes. But was it the same exact model where it was a map that rotated? You could only play one particular map during a certain amount of hours because they wanted to basically extend the length of a game that was bare bones? Yes, it was exactly the same. Was any of the gameplay elements really changed around? No. Was there a new game mode? Sure, but it really didn't feel like a genuine sequel at all. I mean, just take a look at how fast it was released after Splatoon 1. What was it, 2.5 years or something like that? There was no real development time there for that game. That game was 100% a rushed-out expansion, okay? That's not a sequel. That's not allowed, in my opinion, like I feel. By the way, Major Riot, I don't see a cheer from you. How long ago was your cheer? I didn't see it. I don't think that should be allowed as a sequel or be called a sequel. It's being dishonest to the audience. Now, Resident Evil 8, alright? Here's the thing. The reason I'm saying I don't think it looks like Resident Evil is because it has fucking vampires that have never been in Resident Evil before. It apparently is going to take place in a village, and nothing there seems to have the atmosphere of Resident Evil. It looks like a completely different game. Like it should be from a different franchise, from what I can see. Now, I could be wrong, because here's the thing. I kind of got that same vibe from the Resident Evil 7 teaser that we played before the game came out. When you actually played Resident Evil 7, you find out only the first 2 to 3 hours are like that, and the rest of the game becomes way more like classic Resident Evil, and therefore, the game's good, you see? So, for me, a sequel should obviously have some attachments to the previous games in the series, or else why would it even be called a sequel? You know what I mean? At the same time, it shouldn't be the same exact game. Is there an exact ratio? No. It's not. It's going to be subjective. And of course, for me, there might be one game that's a sequel that I like more than another. I'm not going to sit here and quantify it. Here, let me get out my mathematical ratios. Let me break down a nice fucking, you know, algebraic algorithm for you of how much percentile of this needs to be new and old. That's ridiculous. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm just saying, it's pretty obvious to tell when there's a game where they actually put in effort for a sequel and there's a game where they put in almost no effort because all they wanted to do was dial it in, or I should say, phone it in, and not really make a sequel at all. They just wanted to make an expansion to the original game and call it a sequel to make money. Also, there's a difference when someone is using the name of an established franchise to get people to buy something that's not actually the same game. That's happened as well. Oh, let's see here. Oh, never mind. We're all good. I got all the shout-outs. Good. Major Riot said that he had tuned and I missed it. I didn't see it, though. Major Riot, I don't... Oh, it's way down there. Holy crap. He said, hush and stay hungry no matter how dreary the darkness. A can of Chef Boyardee in Phil's cupboard is always a good sign. How exciting. Mr. Puffy Nipples tipped me $1.30 and says, do you think people that created thekingofhate.com still watch you? What happened to Hazard? I haven't seen him in a while. Hazard did not create thekingofhate.com. The actual originators of the website, we're talking over a decade ago, were 2 teenagers. And they were fans at the time, but they were not huge fans of mine. They were fans, and they watched stuff from occasionally. But what they were actually doing, they wanted to basically get their name known, and they were making websites for several different content creators. They also made the website for SSOHPKC at the time. So they kind of knew me and him and offered to make websites for both of us. No, we had a major falling out because I tried to help the kid out. One of the kids was basically in this I think it was like an internship or something like that. I'm not exactly sure what it was. It could have easily been one of those businesses where it's a scam. Who knows? But I guess the kid was making PCs. And the kid was basically making these PCs and trying to make commission on the sale of the PCs. So since he was a nice guy and he had made a website for me and everything, I needed a gaming PC. I bought a gaming PC for him. I told him what I wanted and everything. And when the gaming PC showed up, it was broken. The gaming PC, first of all, had apparently either broken or misinstalled RAM, because only half the RAM in the gaming PC ever worked. The other half never worked. In addition to that, the gaming PC showed up with cracks all over the front and the case coming off. So, of course, you know, me being a nice guy, I never really put up too much of a stink about it or whatever. But later on, this guy got a bug up his ass about me and started talking shit about me and all kinds of stuff, to which I said, you know what? You're not really the most honest guy to believe on anything, because I've done nothing but try to help you out over the years. I've spent thousands of dollars on a PC from you, and you sent me a broken piece of junk that wasn't even made properly. So who are you to try to, like, fucking talk shit about me when you're the one who I should be angry at you? You're the one who screwed me over behind the scenes I never really told anyone about.
Sweet.
So we had a falling out, and that's that. I don't remember the exact 100% details of everything that happened, but I had a falling out with him. The other person who had worked on the website, who honestly, the other person was the person who worked on the website. One person was his friend, and the other person was the guy who really made the website. That guy basically just didn't want anything to do with drama and just stopped talking to me completely, which I don't blame him. I never heard from him ever again. But that's that. Like, those are the originators, the guys who originally made the KingHate.com over a decade ago. And I bought it. Basically, I bought it from them because they owned the domain and all of that. So yes, they didn't give it to me. They actually made me buy the fucking website from them, if you can believe it. They held me over a gun and said, we want you to buy the website from us, even though the whole reason it had any popularity was because it was for me and in my name. But anyway, I bought it from them. I paid them for it. You know, I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker, and I'm a really nice guy, and I do things for people, and I pay for it all the time. So I bought the website from them, and then I had other people basically run it for me after that from then on. So, that's that. There's not much to it. There's really not much to it. It's very, very old news. I haven't talked to those guys in like 7-8 years. And I think it was, shit was before I even moved out here, I think. So, how much did they charge me for the site? I have no actual recollection. I remember it probably being hundreds of dollars, but I couldn't confirm that. I don't remember. It was so long ago. Oh, let's see here. Okay, here we go. Let's ban this troll. Ban him. Major riot cheered. This is the Chef Boyardee carved through Phil's intestines. Oh my god. And Phil grunted in pain. A foul aura of rancid gas and boundless stench emanated from Phil's bathroom. There you go. Save again. This doesn't even make sense. There's another troll. So we got like 1 or 2 trolls here who are really stupid and just trolling all night tonight here. Alright. See, here's the funny thing about stuff. Some people have this anecdote that they say, and they say if everyone else around you is always being an asshole to you, maybe you're the asshole, right? No, it's actually the opposite. Usually, if everyone around you is being an asshole to you, it's probably because they're taking advantage of you. Because you are too nice of a person to realize that everyone around you is using you, and then it's too late by the time you realize it, and all the damage is already done. And this has happened to me, sadly, so many times in my life, where people have used me for various reasons. I'm not just talking about since I became a YouTuber. I'm talking about my whole fucking life. People used me for their various purposes to get ahead, to help themselves out, and then dumped my ass as soon as they felt that I was no longer somehow a benefit to them. This has happened to me over and over and over again in my life, and yet, for some reason, I still keep giving people the benefit of the doubt and thinking that people will eventually stop being assholes to me, and eventually it won't be a situation in my life where, you know what I mean, where I just keep having faith in humanity. I keep having faith in humanity, and I keep getting, basically, how can I say, proven wrong, that the faith shouldn't have been there, and it sucks. Because that's the thing, oh, well, Phil, how is it that you say all the time that all these people do you wrong? Because they do. Because inside of myself, I'm ultimately just like a really nice guy, and I always feel that people are not trying to screw me over, and I feel that people are trying to do the right thing. And it happens again and again and again. It's happened with moderators that I've had. It's happened with coworkers that I've had. It's happened, you know what I mean? It's over and over. And I don't know how to stop it, because it seems like people just won't stop caring about themselves and thinking about how the actions affect others. They only care about getting ahead for themselves. And I've never really been like that. I'm a person who, I do care about myself, of course, but I also care about others. So I try to do the right thing to help out everyone, and then someone fucks me over, you know. And you guys know all about that. I'm not going to go into massive detail about that tonight. You guys know all about some of the times publicly the people who fucked me over, who I trusted. Oh, I finally get to do an attack. Orbital laser. Okay. So here we go. It's the same guy. This is the same fucking guy over and over. He just keeps making more accounts. Okay. Alright, always hot teacher, he says, so you no longer give people the benefit of the doubt. What if they're trustworthy? No, that's not the case at all. The thing is, I do usually still give people the benefit of the doubt. It's just that these days, I can't really... I've learned that you can give someone the benefit of the doubt, but you always got to be on your guard because you never know when things are going to come back to bite you. Like, you basically, you have to be safe in the way that you do stuff. And be absolutely sure that if something does screw you over, if something does actually not go your way, that you're okay. Because sadly, that's what's happened is in my life, there have been times when I 100% believe in someone or, you know what I mean, I trust in them. And then because of that, that literally screws me over insanely badly. And now it takes me a long time to recover from it. You know, again, I'm not going to give specifics because I don't want anyone to try to be calling people out and causing problems for anyone. But that's the deal is, you know, now it's kind of like, it's very hard for me to outright believe someone when they tell me something. Because I'm like, I'm always thinking there's an air of skepticism, there's an air of bullshit there. You know what I mean? Like there's always some underlying factor that of a reason why someone wants to tell me something I want to hear. You know what I mean? And you know what? Probably paranoia. And it sucks that I have that paranoia kind of ingrained in me now because of what's happened to me over the years. But what can I do about it when it's not like I just was like that. That's the end result of people treating me in a very shitty fashion for many, many years, you know? So, of course, now someone named Your Therapist hit me $1.30 and says, book a session with me. Of course. Of course I'll book a session with you. Why wouldn't I book a session with a therapist? Right. Okay, then. Anyway, that's $1 tip. Thank you. Hilarious. Okay. It looks like another tip might have come through, but I need to make sure that it's real.
Stats going up.
I'll take it. Here we go.
Nice. Moving up in the world. Strong.
By the way, I should recommend something because there's actually something that I have forgotten to mention recently, and it's as follows. If you are someone who's a frequent viewer of the stream and you tip me a lot, you can actually do something that would save time and I wouldn't have to verify your tips. You can create a code word. I know that sounds really fucking weird, but since there's no pop-ups on the screen for tips, you could like leave a tip, leave a message and say, okay, and the code word is bacon. And if you always say, when you tip me, you always say, okay, bacon, I'll know that it's you. I won't ever have to like check and see if it's real or not. Because sadly, there are people who impersonate stream regulars and try to say nasty stuff and or fool me into thinking that I'm getting a big tip and then the tip is fake. I'm like, oh shit, now I gotta refund this and everything. It's a pain in the ass. But if you make a code word up that you say in your tip message, only I will see it and I'll know that it's really you. And there's a few people, it's not a ton, I say probably like 3 or 4 people are doing this right now, and it actually has helped a lot in the last 1 or 2 weeks to do that. So just throwing that idea out there. I'm not saying anyone has to do it. Yes, I know it sounds ridiculous, but it actually does help. Did you see that thing was floating? It floated up into the sky. Okay, let's see here. Oh, let's see here. All right, I got another $20 tip from Will, son of Aragorn. Thank you so much, Will, for the support today. I really appreciate it. And he says the following. What's your favorite or most intriguing gameplay mechanic in a game? One of mine is the time travel mechanic in Titanfall 2, even though it wasn't explored enough, trying to get the conversation off of trolls. You know what? The Portal gameplay in the Portal games was probably some of the coolest stuff I'd ever seen. The puzzles and stuff set around portals. It really makes you think in a way outside the box of any other game. And there really hasn't been another game that's really made me think like that about how to solve a puzzle since then. There have been puzzle games that I played with interesting mechanics, but that's like the best one in my opinion. I miss Portal. I wish that they had continued to make them instead of just making 2 and then deciding, oh, we don't want to actually make games anymore. We just want to suck money out of Steam. But it is what it is, you know. You can't make Valve make games. I wish there were a Portal 3. I would love that. So, it's Gutter Glasses time. Thank you guys for the support tonight. Warm P took me $1.30. I did confirm this is real, by the way. He said, are you aware that SSOH PKC has actually returned to content creation and started making videos again? He and I were essentially the 2 guys who he says we started playthroughs on YouTube. I disagree. I think that SSOH, PKC, and I kind of revolutionized them in the fact that we popularized them. We were the ones who, as we made playthroughs, they became popular and people became synonymous with us. You know what I mean? It wasn't just us, by the way. I would say there was a good dozen people at the time who kind of broke out for various different kinds. Like, I was a variety guy. I believe he was as well. But there was a few guys who broke out for, like, oh, that's the Call of Duty content creator. You know what I mean? And, you know, it's cool that people still think of me in that regard. Not many people do, because most people today who watch YouTube don't even know about that era of YouTube. But no, we were not the originators of Let's Plays or playthroughs. That's ridiculous. We were the ones who popularized it by doing it in a different way, doing that impromptu commentary over gameplay, that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? But anyway, someone had mentioned this to me a couple months ago, that SSOH PKC had retired years ago, and then actually came out of retirement to come back and make more content. That's cool, I guess. Especially because I know the guy had a giant fan base. You know, he was very popular on YouTube at the same time I was. And I'm sure that some of his fan base is happy to have him back. So, I hope he's doing well. He's a very, very nice guy. Out of all the people back in the day who were like my fellow content creators doing the same thing I was, he was very personable and nice to me, even though we barely had any interactions. The few that I had were very, very, very nice. So, there was actually, this is a true story. There was one time when, he and the creatures, yes, the original creatures from back in the day, not the 10 iterations, but the original creatures group back in the day, I guess they were going somewhere where I was actually going to be. It might have been E3, actually. It might have been E3 2012. And he was thinking of having a meetup between me and the creatures to hang out and do like I don't know if they wanted to do videos or whatever, or if they just wanted to hang out behind the scenes. And at that time, I really didn't know much about them. But I was like, yeah, I would consider it if you guys wanted to meet up and just talk and shoot the shit as fellow content creators. Why not? Back then we were just fellow YouTubers. We didn't call ourselves content creators anymore. But for some reason, it fell through. He told me the whole thing kind of got called off and it wasn't going to happen anymore. So, it is what it is. It never happened. Let's see here. Alright, I received another $1.30 tip from Troll Hater, who says, fuck the trolls, they are very stupid. Alright, well, thank you, Troll Hater, for the $1 tip. What an interesting statement you've made here tonight. Thank you very much. Okay. Oh, by the way, I do need to fix something. Hold on. Because I did ask the king earlier today, remember? So this template now is all messed up because what I would normally do with this template, I'll show you guys what I would do with this. Hold on. I want to set this up tonight. Tonight, I want this at the ready, okay? So I would normally do... So I'd be here and I'd be streaming and someone in the stream chat would say, Phil, can I hang out with you behind the scenes? And I would go over here and quickly say, no! You can't hang out with me behind the scenes. It's not allowed. There you go. I got it set up again. Perfect. Very nice. Okay. Let's continue. Ew, you're dead.
Well, I got this.
Variety Bank says, was that meant to be? I don't know. Someone had said that in the stream chat. They said, well, Phil, hang out with me behind the scenes, so.
A gift for you.
Shout out to Amazing GT23. What's going on? He says, what's up, Phil in chat? What's going on with you, sir? How you doing tonight? Good to see you. FL Gibson just cheered. He said, how does it feel to have created the Let's Play concept on YouTube? I did not do that. Are you proud that you kicked off the Let's Play craze? I did not do that. Do you regret making Let's Play such a big deal? I did not do that. No, I told you, Let's Plays existed, but at the time when I started doing them on YouTube, the kind of commentary that I was doing was pretty unique. I said it was me and maybe one or two other people were doing the kind of impromptu commentary style, and then after that, a couple other people like SSOH, PKC, and stuff started doing it as well, and the next thing you know, boom, it became like giantly popular among the YouTube community, and then everyone started doing it the same way that we had been doing it, you see? But no, I did not start the craze. The playthroughs have been around since, like, from my understanding, like before YouTube, people were doing video game plays. It was just that there was no centralized place to watch them because there was no free place to host the videos, you know? Yeah, wow, Jungi gets an incredible amount of turns. You see this, right? Jungi gets a crazy amount of turns, which is good. I'm not complaining.
Hope this hurts.
I think takes like no damage to physical attacks. Come on. Get over there. Punch his ass. There you go. Punch him right in the ass. Mythical Chew says you can hang out with me behind the scenes. No, I cannot do that. Because, no, I cannot do that because of COVID. I wouldn't do that anyway, regardless, but I can't do it because of COVID.
Going up.
Okay. Who else did I have good interactions with back in the day? You know, I almost have never spoken with other content creators. That's not an exaggeration. I was always so busy doing my own thing that I never did collabs. I was never sought after for any kind of a crossover or anything like that. I was always a man unto myself. But another person who I had a little bit of very positive interaction with back in the day was Maximilian. At one point, he needed some help with some stuff on YouTube, and I helped him out a little bit behind the scenes when I was actually much bigger than him at the time. So I helped him out with some things behind the scenes, and he was a really nice, respectful guy. And to my knowledge, I don't think he's ever said anything negative about me. I think he's actually one of the better content creators on YouTube for what he does. The fact that he was originally a guy known for doing skits for Marvel vs. Capcom 3, the Assist Me series, but then he branched out from that and not only played a variety of games, but also branched out and played all kinds of different stuff. You know, he made a real good name for himself in the content creator community as a really nice guy and a resource for honest criticism, and just being almost like a really informed guy when it came to the fighting game community. Because at one point, I was kind of looked at like that for a very short period of time, but then I basically told you guys I didn't care about fighting games anymore. I was like, I'll play them, but I'm not going to go to tournaments. I'm not going to cover them competitively anymore. At the very beginning of my YouTube time, around 2008, 2009, 2010, I was really heavily into Street Fighter 4. And people actually came to me to ask me about how to play the game, to find out insider information about competitive circles and stuff. It was very different back then, but I gave it up. Like I told you outright, I told you around 2011, I said I didn't want to do it anymore. I was like, I have no interest in being part of the competitive community anymore. I just didn't want to dedicate that amount of time and effort because why? I'll tell you why. I enjoy doing variety gameplay on YouTube better. I actually found that doing a big variety of content on YouTube as opposed to just doing fighting games was way more entertaining to me, okay? And I said, hey, if I can have notoriety and make a living doing something that's way more fun than just being a competitive fighting game player, that's what I want to do. Max retained his status as a guy who's very informed and a very well-respected guy in the fighting game community when I just kind of gave up and didn't care anymore. So it's hilarious because Max himself is very good at fighting games, okay? I just want to say something about it. I want you to understand something. I'm not talking shit about Max in any way, shape, or form. He's very good at fighting games. I played him in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Excuse me, Marvel vs. Capcom 1. He was really good. Like, he was good enough that I could tell you back in the day when that game was at the height of its popularity in the late 90s, he could have been a top tournament player with how good he was at that game when I played him online in it, okay? He was that good. But Max, I just fucked up and picked the wrong thing. Max is someone who really, if you take a look at his career as a fighting game player, he wasn't ever really a top guy. You know, he was more someone he was in the know, he was very informed, but he was never a top placer in these games. You never saw Maximilian winning major tournaments or anything like that. I was. At one point in my Street Fighter career, I was. Yet, everyone basically has tried to discredit that and say that I never did well at Street Fighter, which if you can't say that, all you need to do is look at results for 3-4 years. Every Super Turbo tournament I entered, whether it was this console version, that console version, arcade version, I was winning tournaments everywhere I went. But people want to discredit that because basically I gave up the fighting game community. I said I didn't want to be a part of it because it was too much of a sacrifice and it was too much of a time constraint. And by the way, I didn't like where the fighting game community was going. Basically, when the fighting game community started being commercialized with all these what do you call it? Sponsorships and the tie-in with Mad Cats and the tie-in with this and it basically instead of it being about the love of the game and hanging out with people from all over the world and having great experiences, it became I just want to get popular on the internet. You know, I want to be a popular YouTube gamer. And it's like, dude, that's never what it was about for me. I was playing fighting games in the 1990s, in the 2000s, when there was zero popularity or money to be made doing it. It wasn't ever about that. For me, it was about loving the games and sharing that passion with you guys online. And when I didn't have passion for the games anymore, because I didn't like Marvel 3, I thought that Street Fighter 4 and the final iterations wasn't very good, and I absolutely hated Street Fighter 5. I said, I'm not going to cover this stuff anymore. And so Maximilian was kind of the opposite, where he wasn't known as a top guy, but because he stuck with the games and because he got popular for his coverage of them, he became like almost like a guru of fighting games, and now he's like well-renowned and well-respected, and that's deserved. He's someone who stuck with what he did, and I have a lot of props for him. Like, he was very respectful to me back in the day when I was more popular than him. He was nothing but respectful to me, and I don't have a negative thing to say about the guy. I think that the guy makes quality content, and he deserves all the success that he's got, because he's got a lot of success. His YouTube channel is like crazy popular. I'm sure he makes a ton of money doing what he loves, and that's a really cool thing. As someone who makes a living doing what he loves, that's living the life. So he's got it good, and you know, I wish him the best. All right, let's see here.
You're weak.
What is this now? So Evo gives a cheer, says, are you the Thomas Edison of Let's Plays? You didn't invent them, but you popularized them? Yes.
You want to fight? Let's
Okay. Power Suit 3 cheer says, did you get filtered by Oblivion? I don't even know what the fuck that means. So no.
Weak.
Joyful Oblivion did 100-bit cheer, says, if you reach the tips goal, put the stream into behind the scenes mode while you play. What does that mean? Joyful Oblivion, what do you mean by that? Behind the scenes mode. Well, I don't really know what you mean by that.
Get serious.
If you can elaborate,
Take this. Take your.
I'm all ears, but I don't know what you mean by that. Warm P to me another $1.30 says, have you heard of Dan 8000? He started in 2009. He still makes content. No, you're asking the wrong person. When I started on YouTube as a content creator, there was only 2 other content creators I knew of, and they weren't even YouTubers. Angry Video Game Nerd, Nostalgia Critic. That's the only people I even knew of. I didn't know about anyone else on YouTube. That's why it's funny when people tell me, oh, Phil, you copied other people when you started calling your video game playthroughs. I was like, did anyone else use the term playthrough? I never heard of it. I made that term up for myself. I started labeling my videos playthrough because I didn't want to call it a walkthrough because I didn't have prerequisite knowledge of the games I played. I was just doing raw gameplay, you know, no pre-known knowledge of the game, and just reactionary commentary. So I called it a playthrough. It's like first time playing the game, playing through it, commentary, that's what it is. And then people were like, oh, you copied other people when you said playthrough. Like, maybe other people did use it before me. I made that term up for myself. I didn't even know anyone had used it, and I didn't hear anyone everything was a let's play or a walkthrough. I knew my stuff wasn't walkthroughs, and I hated the term let's play. Reason being, I wasn't interactive with an audience. Let's play infers it's a group of people playing something together, and I felt that's not what my videos were. My videos were more like me kind of sitting on the couch playing a game for myself, and you feel like you were sitting next to me, but it wasn't like you were playing the game with me. I would say today my content very much more would fit the description of a let's play, because we all kind of play this stuff together. I picked the wrong thing again. But anyway, I hated that term let's play, so I started calling myself playthrough. The Adeli Tesla tipped me $10 and says, are you and Kat excited about the new Mario items in Animal Crossing? Yes, we are. Kat actually played Animal Crossing earlier this week, and she ordered a few of the items and stuff in the game, but I don't know if they've arrived yet, and quite frankly, I don't think she's played it in a couple of days, because now that she's on her new work schedule, she's basically been kind of scrambling to prepare and be ready for that. And if any time she had to play, she's been playing Persona 5. Remember I told you guys she's been playing Persona 5 for a couple of weeks now? She got really, really far. Today she made it to the casino dungeon. And she's really liking the game, and now she's intrigued by the story, and she wants to see what's going to happen with it. But she's afraid now because her work schedule changed. Maybe she won't have as much time to play it. So we're going to see what happens. She's been like hyper-focused on Persona 5, really hasn't been playing much else.
You're in it now. You want to fight this?
Oh, by the way, so thank you. I apologize. I completely glossed over the tip, didn't I? I didn't add that to the total, did I? I don't think so, right? The Adeli Tesla or Warren P. I don't think I added either of their tips to the total. So we should technically be at $76 in tips right now, right? I think so. If anyone can correct me and say, no, Phil, you did it, then let me know. But I don't think I added those to the total, did I? I don't think so. Joyful Oblivion cheered against it. When you put the face cam in full screen mode, you call it behind the scenes. I did? Oh, like this? You want to see me like this? That's disturbing. Alright, we're going to do the whole stream like this. Ready? I'm not going to tell you what's going on. You're just going to hear these weird noises in the background. What was that? That was dinner. That was the the meatball grinder. My stomach just growled. That's what's happening. Alright, no, we're not doing that. Okay.
I feel the stats going up.
Excellent.
Look at me.
We're not doing
go.
that. That's disturbing.
Moving up in the world. Space.
There's some behind the scenes bro right there. How the fuck am I 38? I know, I look like I'm like 78 or 88 or something. I told you guys my balls, they hang down to my knees, they clack together like one of those perpetual motion machines. Dude, it's very painful. I gotta do something about that. Sometimes I have to tape one ball to each leg so that they don't hit together. Anyway, Ninstar Rune cheered and he said $30 webcam on to tell what the game is. Huh? I think he's trying to make a joke about LTG or something, but it went over my head. I don't understand what he's saying. Let's see here.
You're in it now.
I keep oh, here it is. Not Phantom Drive. Fucking trick shot. There we go.
Get alive. Let's go. Watch this.
All right.
Thunder and lightning.
Thunderbolts and lightning. Very, very frightening.
I'm up. Let's do it.
Can I sing Journey any way you want it? No, I'm not going to be singing tonight. In fact, I sneezed earlier and it screwed up my throat. My upper left-hand side of my throat now is sore because I sneezed and my whole left sinus is swollen up. See, it's like, I don't want to sing tonight. Not in the mood. Such a surprise that LTG influenced my hairstyle. He mentioned the other day that I should get a fade. Yes, you see you guys don't know this, but I look up to LTG and I idolize him as a paragon of what the male should embody, what a true male should embody. You may not realize this, I'm the person who gives him about $30 every day so he'll turn on his webcam so I can see that massive Adonis-like form so that I know exactly what I should model my life after. So when he said I should get a fade, I ran to the hairdresser. I just ran to, I said, buzz that shit right the fuck off right now. Do it. And they did it. It was amazing. My life's never been... Oh my god. I know it's not a fade. I didn't get a fade, stupid. It's a joke. Someone just said, that's not a fade. We're joking. No shit, it's not a fade. Oh my god. Get on. Someone said, he said my beard was fake, not my haircut. But he's right there. You see, what I do is I go to the abandoned Toys R Us stores, because remember Toys R Us went out of business. And I look for Toys R Us that still have like abandoned stock, and I go in, I open up the containers of like dolls, and I rip the doll hair out. And then what I do is I cut it up and I paste it to my face with glue. Elmer's glue and doll hair. That's how it looks like I have a beard. It's not really my hair. Of course, everyone knows this. Always hot tea, cheers. Can you rap? No.
I'll take it. Nice. Hell yeah.
What's happening anymore?
I did it!
We're leveling up, which is great. But we're out of here. That was the last one. No, there's one more. One more to the north. Our Breezy says I'm very funny. Why not shave it off? I like having the little goatee, and I actually asked my wife about this the other day. I said, what do you think? I said, you know, it is going fully white now. Like, almost all the hairs down here are white. It's just like today, on Ask the King, you could really see it. When I was full screen, you could really see how many white hairs I had. Because that was a 1080p webcam. And I was like, damn, like, you could see most of them are white. And she's like, no, I like it. She's like, I like your beard, just keep it. It's not about people being stupid and criticizing it over the fucking streams on the internet. It's about if she likes it. Like, I'm gonna keep it then. Fuck it. I don't care.
You stand a chance. Well.
Ninstar Rune, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about, and I really don't want to know. Yeah, King Michael, Toys R Us went out of business like 2 years ago. Went completely out of business. It was before the pandemic. They went out of business before all that shit went down. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if they hadn't? And then they tried to survive during the pandemic? That would have been bad. Okay. There we go. Suck as a Price says I should. That LTG said I should ditch the goatee, go with a full beard, and I could grow one and pull it off. I could, but I've told you guys repeatedly why I hate it. I couldn't be able to do it. When I grow my facial hair out for a week, if I don't shave it, it bothers me. It actually makes me itch my face, and it's just annoying to me. Like, I don't like a lot of hair. I really don't like having a lot of hair. Most of my life I had a crew cut. It wasn't until 10 years ago that I finally grew my hair out like this, and I like the look, so I keep it. But I don't like it when it grows out. I don't like having long hair at all. I never did. And that's not going to change.
Oh, thunder!
They resist everything but fire. Fire and, like, cutting blades. I don't have a cutting attack.
Take this. The fury of nature.
This is the fury of nature.
I'm up.
There we go. ML Gibson Cheers says, can you tell us a bit about MVC 2 days and experiences? I feel like your MVC stories get overshadowed by Street Fighter when MVC was a big part of your fighting game career too. Oh, did you hear that? Ooh. Ooh. All right, hold on. Let me split the parts for YouTube here.